Good morning, everyone. Myself, Dr. Pooja Yadav, and for today's class, we are going to see op-amp as an adder. So, here in operational amplifiers, we have seen what are operational amplifiers, and we have also seen what is the internal block diagram and how the operational amplifier works. All these things we have seen. So in today's class we are going to see application of op-amp as an adder. So what did we mean by an adder? Whenever we will talk of a adder, we will just think in electronic circuit that if we are giving more than one voltages to a circuit, so it should add it up at the output whenever we are in requirement of an adder. This is the concept of adder. this is just this is not just a simple addition in electronic circuitries. So we'll just see ki how it look likes. So first of all, Dhanashri Joshi, एक्सक्यूज मी धनश्री, आपका स्क्रीन शेयर बंद कर दो बेटा. So from where we will start operational amplifier as an adder is कि first of all we will see what is an inverting amplifier. I have already explained you what is inverting amplifier or how the operational amplifier or op-amp work as an inverting amplifier. Okay, so we'll just see a review of it in short. So in inverting amplifier we have seen that the input is applied to the inverting end, and at the output we will get 180 degrees phase shift between input and the output. So this is basically how we'll have inverting amplifier. Here we'll also have a feedback resistor, that is RF, which is connected between output and the inverting terminal, and the non-inverting terminal is connected to ground. So this is how the construction of inverting amplifier looks like. We'll just see a circuit diagram of inverting amplifier. So here as we have draw these examples of inverting amplifier also, and we have derived it for the output also. So here you can see that a feedback resistor is connected between output and the inverting input of the operational amplifier, and the non-inverting input is connected to ground, and the supply is given, that is V invert input is given to the inverting input terminal of the operational amplifier. Okay, so this is how we will have the designing of an inverting amplifier. This is simply an inverting amplifier. Okay, here we have connected just a input resistor, a supply, and a feedback resistor. This feedback resistor is connected from output to input. Here we will have V1 and this is V2. This point is at virtual ground. So from here we will have current as IB2 is equal to 0. Virtual ground concept we have seen in our last lectures also. So here if we'll see the output and the input of this inverting amplifier, so this is the input waveform. Here you will have a sine wave, and at the output you can see 180 degrees out of phase, or this is the phase shift of 180 degrees. So this is basically the output of an inverting amplifier, or you can call it as op amp as an inverting amplifier. So this was the construction. Now we will have the derivation of inverting amplifier, how we are going to derive the output of this inverting amplifier. So we will have output voltage is equal to, this is gain into Vd. So we'll see what is Vd. This is nothing but V1 minus V2, as V1 is equal to 0. In our circuit we have seen that this point is at virtual ground, so it will be having V1 is equal to 0, but and V2 is also 0 because we haven't applied anything at this point. So Ri is equal to infinity. Therefore the current IB2 is going to be at negative terminal and it is equal to 0. Okay, so how we will have the output of this inverting amplifier is the output voltage is nothing but AV, that is gain, into V in. Whatever input we are going to give, that multiplied with the gain we will have at the output. So if we'll write it as minus of RF is equal to gain, that is we have put in the value of V in and V out. So if we'll have this equation, we will have gain is equal to minus of Rf by R1. Just arranging the equation, above equation, we will get the gain as minus of Rf by R1. This is the feedback resistor divided by the value of input resistance. So here if you will see that you are having a minus sign at the output, so this is denoting that you will have the phase shift of 180 degrees between input and output voltages. Now we will see what is non-inverting amplifier. These amplifiers in inverting and non-inverting mode we are looking at, just because we'll have to design an adder by using this inverting amplifier and by using non-inverting amplifier. Sorry. Okay, so both the construction we will see, and then we will design an adder by using these two configurations. Okay, so in non-inverting amplifier, the input signal is applied at the non-inverting terminal. Okay, now the feedback resistor RF is connected between the output and the inverting terminal. We'll just see a design of this non-inverting amplifier. So this is a non-inverting amplifier. Here if we'll see that the equation for this type of amplifier can be given as, one second, I'll just go to the circuit diagram. So this is the non-inverting amplifier. Okay, in a non-inverting amplifier we have given the input at the non-inverting terminal, that is the positive terminal. And the second thing is this, that it at this point we have connected R2 and R1, and at this point I2 is equal to be 0, because this point is maintained at virtual ground. Okay, so this is how the output and the input signal look like in non-inverting amplifier. You will not have any phase shift over here. Whatever you will give at the input, you will have a amplified output at the second end. So here there is no phase shift, means here it is written 0 degrees phase shift, means there is no phase shift. Both are in phase to each other, output and input. So this is how the non-inverting amplifier look like. Now we will have summing amplifier or the adder. How we are going to design an adder by using a operational amplifier. So we can have adder if we'll have more than two inputs, and at the output if we lead the summation of the three inputs or number of inputs, so we can use operational amplifier as an adder. The adder circuitries can be in inverting adder or it can be a non-inverting adder. According to our application or according to our previous circuits, we'll design this adder by having two configurations, that is inverting and in non-inverting mode. Whatever is your requirement, we can design the circuitry accordingly. So here first we will have inverting adder. So how we are going to design an inverting adder? Just remember this circuits. You will have the derivation, students. So just remember the circuits and you will have the equations in your mind. So it will not be very difficult for you to remember the equation. First of all, you draw the circuit, how the adder will look like. So it is the adder in inverting mode. So it is obvious that we are going to give the input at the inverting terminal. Okay, so here number of input is connected, so we will have V1, V2 and V3. These are three voltages and we have connected it through three resistances, R1, R2 and R3. This is a single feedback resistor which is connected from output to the input. So at this point once again we will have virtual ground concept. Okay, so this is a simple circuit of op-amp as an adder in inverting mode. Now we will have V1. So the current flowing through this point is equal to I1. As we'll have V2, so at this point you will have I2, and at this point at V3 we will have the third current, that is called as I3. Now at this point we will have IB2. Okay, and at the feedback resistor we will have IF. So basically we are having these types of current or these different currents flowing through the directions. So we will just have that what is the final current at the output end. So we'll have the derivation for this is the inverting adder, and we will have to explain it also. So we have just explained that what we have connected and where we have connected. Now we will have the equation. So we have considered the resistances as R in 1, R in 2, R in 3, and I1, I2 and I3 respectively. Okay, so these three resistors will have three inputs, so they will have three different currents also, that is I1, I2 and I3. Now we have applied KCL, Kirchhoff's current law at the point or at the node A. Now we can write the equation as I1, I2, I3, I1 plus I2 plus I3 is equal to IB2 plus IF. Just have a look at this point or at this node. This is node A, and we have applied Kirchhoff's current law. So what we have written, I1 plus I2 plus I3 is equal to IB2 plus IF. So this is how we have applied the Kirchhoff's current law at the node A. This equation we can also write it as, we will have as ideal, if we have an ideal op amp, so I1 or I Ri will be equal to infinity. So here IB2 will be equal to 0, but Va is equal to Vb is equal to 0 because we are having virtual ground at these points. So what we will have, if we'll rewrite the equation as, we will have I1 plus I2 plus I3 is equal to IF. Okay, so if we'll put the values of I1, I2, I3 in their respective voltages and resistances, so we can write I1 is equal to V1 minus Va divided by R in 1. So it can be written as V1 divided by R in 1. Similarly, you can write I2 is equal to V2 minus Va divided by R in 2. This will be equal to V2 divided by I in 2. Okay, similarly for I3 we can write V3 minus Va. So it can be written as V3 divided by R in 3. And from output side we will have IF, that is the feedback current. So how we can write the feedback current is, this is Va minus Vo divided by Rf. So this will be equal to minus of Vo because Va is equal to 0. This will be so what will be Rf, or with you can write the current or the feedback current as IF, and it will be equal to minus of V out by RF. So if we'll rearrange these values in equation 1, we can have this as V1 divided by R in 1 plus V2 divided by R in 2 plus V3 divided by I in 3 is equal to minus of V out by RF. This is only the values which we have derived. We have put them in equation 1. What was equation 1? I1 plus I2 plus I3 is equal to IF. In that equation, we have put the value. So by rearranging these terms, we can have V out. We'll have to take out V out. So V out will be equal to minus of. We have kept V out here, and we have taken the other quantities on the right side. So what we will have, Rf by R in 1 into V1 plus Rf by R in 2 into V2 plus Rf by I in 3 V3. So here if we will have three resistances equal. If we'll have Rf is equal to R in, or R in 2 is equal to R3, or is equal to R sabhi, if we have taken the similar resistances, so what we will have, if we'll put this value of R in 1, R in 2 and R in 3 in this equation, in the above equation, so we will have V out is equal to minus of this, in place of this we have kept V1, in place of this V2 and V3. Okay, so this is how we'll get the final equation of output voltage, which is equal to summation of all the three voltages but with the minus sign. So what does this denote? This is the finally output voltage equation for an adder. But if it is having a minus sign over here, we have just added the voltages. This is a basic principle of adder. We have added the input voltages, but we are having a minus sign also over there because we have used a inverting amplifier as an adder. So whatever input we are going to give, at the output we are going to have a 180 degrees phase shift. Now we can also talk of non-inverting adder. What is a non-inverting adder is, if we'll apply the input voltages to the non-inverting terminal of the circuit, it will be called as a non-inverting adder. In the figure you can write it as non-inverting adder. This is just a simple circuit, or you can do it practically also. Okay students, it is very fascinating whenever you are doing op-amp practicals. Okay, and till then you will not do op-amp practicals, you will not understand the basic principles of operational amplifiers and these fantastic circuits also. So I'll just suggest to you, as soon as your college is regular, you'll do these practicals and have some interesting concepts of operational amplifier. So this is how the non-inverting adder can also be designed, but by using a operational amplifier. So this is all for today's class. This is operational amplifier or op-amp as an adder. If you'll have any queries, if you'll have any questions, you can put it in the chat box. I will just revise the presentation for you once again, or what we'll have in op-amp as an adder. So for before going to an adder, we have seen what is an inverting amplifier and how we will design an inverting amplifier by using a operational amplifier. So this is a basic construction of an inverting amplifier. Whatever input we are going to give at this end, you will have the 180 degrees out of phase sine wave at the output. This is the phase shift of 180 degrees, and then we will have the derivation. Okay, so this derivation I have already explained you in our previous classes, so we'll not just will we have just had a overview of this. Now you can have non-inverting amplifier also by using an operational amplifier. So here, if it is a non-inverting amplifier, so the input is applied at the non-inverting terminal of the operational amplifier, just like this. This is how the input is given. A feedback resistor is connected over here, and these are two currents, that is I1 and I2. So what we can write as the equation of non-inverting amplifier is just as we have written in our previous slides, that gain is equal to 1 plus Rf by R1. Here the gain is 1 plus Rf by R1 for non-inverting amplifier. Okay, so this was non-inverting amplifier. We can design the adder circuit of operational amplifiers in two modes, that is in inverting mode also and in non-inverting mode also. So we will see one by one, that is inverting adder, or this is operational amplifier in inverting mode, which is used as an adder. So for adding the voltages, we have this type of circuit. The input is applied at the inverting terminal. Three basic voltages are here: V1, V2 and V3. So these three currents are also there: I1, I2 and I3. So at this point we will have IB2, and at this point we will have current as IF, that is a feedback current. And at the second terminal we will have IB1. So this is an inverting adder. For this, if you will want to design a, if you want to derive the equation, we'll have three resistors and three currents across them. And if we'll have applied KCL at node A, we can write the currents as I1, I2, I3, that is I1 plus I2 plus I3 is equal to IB2 plus IF. These are the currents flowing in various directions whenever we are considering KCL at node A. So if we'll write the values of these quantities or currents, we will have Ri is equal to infinity if it is the ideal op amp. So we'll have Ib2 is equal to 0, and for Va is equal to Vb, it is also equal to 0. So what we will have, I1, once again we will have I1 plus I2 plus I3 is equal to If. We'll put the value of I1 in terms of voltage and resistance. So we will have V1 minus Va divided by this V in 1. So we'll have I1 is equal to V1 by R in 1. So similarly for I2, similarly for I3 we have done, and all these three values we have put it in our equation number 1, that is I1 plus I2 plus I3 is equal to IF. So these are the values of I1, I2, I3 and IF. If we'll rearrange these equations, what we will have, we will have at the end, these will the common terms and they will cancel it out. So at the V out we will have minus of in the bracket V1 plus V2 plus V3. So whatever is the voltages at the three ends, it will be first added and then it will be given in the 180 degrees phase shift at the output. So this is how the inverting adder will work. Now you can also design a non-inverting adder. I have shown you the construction of non-inverting adder also. This circuit you can mount on a practical, or you can do it in breadboard also. So if these are the things which are to be which are assumed to be very interesting for you. So students, I just thank you for listening to the presentation, and just be in touch, keep designing the electronic circuits, have the op amp practicals, and enjoy the subject. Okay, thank you once.